I'm wondering if you know what you do in the astral and dream planes or dimensions that you have no idea about right now because you don't dream or you don't think you have astral travel experiences. Today I am speaking in behalf of your astral and dream personas, aspects that you are might be unaware of. There's a huge, a vast part of yourself that you might be unaware of, and a huge, vast part of information about your own abilities, knowing that you might be a knowing of some of these abilities that you are not tapped into. And so, in my astral travels and in my dreams, I have encountered a lot of you guys, but in those realms. And I have a lot of experience speaking with parts of the people who are disconnected. Actually, that is one of my, I guess you could say, jobs that I was born to do. And it's just something that I do naturally. I never called it a job before, but I guess I have to realize that it is work, and I do it naturally and effortlessly. So I guess it's just who I am and what I do, and one of my gifts. If you want to call it a job, it's also a job. Um, One of those is to hear and listen to the forgotten aspects in astral and dream of people who are alive but have no idea that they are more than just, whoever's watching this video personality. Um, so these are a few things that you might not know that you do in astral and or in dreams. So one of the things that you might not be aware of that you do in astral planes is that you go to school, that you actually have an education that you're following, and it has more to do with missions on Earth and spiritual purposes than schools here that just teach BS most of the time. Um, Also, you might not know that you are teaching, not just being a student, that you're actually leading classes and courses. And another one of the things is that you are receiving downloads of things that you will be teaching or things that you will be experiencing and learning from yourself. Um, that's in the astral. Or I like to, I don't like to separate too much astral and dream because there's a connection between them that I have not yet put my finger on it. I can astral project from a dream, just like from, what we call waking reality. And for me, it's all connected somehow. So I'm just using the different terms loosely now. Another thing that you might be doing that you might not be aware of in astral is uh, you are receiving guidance from spirit guides or from uh, ascended masters and other beings, higher beings like extraterrestrials. You might be having UFO, ET contact that you have no idea about in astral. And that is a problem, I think, because we have shoved astral and dream so far into our subconscious, unconscious, that we live this life in a one-sided coin manner. Healing is another thing that you might be performing or receiving. Healing for your physical body, which usually starts in your astral body as a blueprint. So there's a lot of healing happening in these dimensions that you might not be aware of. Or you might be aware of it actually, but this is just this video. If I'm saying you're unaware of it, I'm just trying to make a point of all all the things that it's for the people who need to bridge this aspect more and more. Um, and I don't claim to know everything about my astral self. I know that I do a lot of things, but I also know that I'm also unaware of a lot more. So uh, this is for all of us. It's to bring awareness. Um, Another thing that you might not be aware that you're doing in the astral is integrating different aspects of yourself, whether it's a star-seeded aspect of yourself or male, female aspects of yourself or powers that you may have lost, or a lot of integration can occur in astral, both in astral and dream, actually. Um, Lucid dreams is another place. It's like a remembrance of our soul, of the things that we can do, of how we should be waking up, of what waking up means. It's a symbolic experience of awakening. And in lucid dreams, there have been an immense transformation for me in my life, integration, and all other things, like I mentioned, um, healing. In lucid dreams, though, I do not go to school or teach, so that has only been in astral. And if I do, in a lucid dream, enter a kind of university, it's usually more of a soul journey. So it has transformed from the lucid dream into an astral journey. And a lot of the times, people who are entering certain islands or cities in the astral that hold these schools or classes in the ethers, they lose consciousness as soon as they enter the course, the room, meaning that that part of them goes, but it doesn't translate into their memory once they wake up. So there's a shift, maybe into a higher frequency that the body or the person in the body has not yet tapped into. So these teachings can't yet be revealed. Now, what if you could reveal? Wouldn't you be interested in knowing what it is that you're studying, or what it is that you're teaching, or what it is that you know so well that you teach in these realms? Wouldn't you want to know? Like, aren't you curious? Because I am. I'm fucking curious. This is what drives me forward. Is I don't like thinking that I don't know what the hell I'm doing, that I'm out of tune with a huge freaking part of myself that is fucking awesome and amazing, that has all these abilities. So I tune into them, and I actually, you got to get over your ego, because you're going to see a lot of people in these classes that you're in a fight with in this life, because they're just souls. And I've actually been out of line once in the astral. I saw a person that I have a little bit of an issue with back in the day. And I got upset because this person really hurt me in my life, and I singled them out in the class, and I just lost my bananas. And I got taken to the elders, and they one spirit guide lady, older lady, took me out of the class and was like, "Hello, like, don't you remember who you are? Don't you remember who this person really is? Like, get over the fact of what they are in this life, because that's not." That person looked very like ashamed of. I made that person feel shame for their waking life counterpart, which they have no control over because they're disconnected. And I felt really bad afterwards. I wasn't allowed into class for a while. It was almost like I downgraded myself for a second. But I learned a big lesson, and that is not to judge the person, the astral person, by their person, physical reality person, what we call, because most of the time, like I said, they're completely different. Now, the problem is that you might not even recognize your astral or dream counterparts if they stood right in front of you and said, hey. And they could be male, they could be female. It is actually, and they could be like, if you're an introvert, it could be extroverted. If you are a person who only wears black and is very somber, it could be actually a person who wears Hawaiian colorful shirts and tells jokes all day. So it could be somebody completely different looking that you would never expect. And these there's this goes to show that the gap between you and your whole self, which are these other aspects, is vast. There's a huge gap. And it's important to not shut out this possibility that I'm talking about, that you're doing things that you're not aware of right now, that you're going through experiences in the astral and dream that you're not aware of, that that you're teaching and you're learning, that you're um, going through multiple awakenings, and um, that seeds are being dropped into your being to flower and bloom. You got to do your part. This is what this is about. Now, the astral and dream are constantly trying to reach you. They're constantly trying to be like, hey, you can't move forward without me. I'm a part of you. And you have to listen to this. You have to start putting your part. You have to start making room for unknown aspects of yourself. They're only unknown because they're buried in your unconscious, but really they're very known, and they're acting and doing things in realms that you are asleep to, that you are asleep to. So when I tell people to wake up, I don't tell them to wake up. I say assume you're asleep, because that's the best place to start, to wake up into the reality of yourself. True, authentic, humongous, huge self. So I'm going to be talking about this more and more, but I guess this is just a little intro to um, your other aspects, that some of them I am very aware of myself, because I see a lot. I see a lot. And they're counting on me to also bridge, and to help you to bridge. And actually, I created an audio journey to into the dreamer's heart, into the ancient dreamer, so that you can symbolically bridge. It's like an invitation to initiation into the beginning of knowing yourself.